Here is my payday routine, which ensures I am not broke at any particular point in time throughout the month. Are you employed out there? Are you working full time? Are you working part time? And you get paid a salary? If you are, do you manage your salary optimally, or you find yourself in those murky waters where you are broke barely a few days after you are paid? The issue isn't you are not paid enough. There are many other issues which, once you put structure to them, they're going to assist you be very objective on how you go about handling your money as soon as you are paid. And you'll stop wondering where your money went. With that said, you are all much welcomed. My name is Afagza Sifunam. In case you are new here and you love these videos I'm making about money each and every day, kindly consider subscribing. Down below there is a button called subscribe. Click that button, subscribe to join my channel. And also, I will still add it, drop a like on this video, because by you liking this video, it's going to let me know that you are loving the content I'm making, and I'm going to keep giving you these amazing videos each and every day. Having said that, the very first thing I typically do is that I pause before I spend any money. The essence of pausing is, if there's no budget, it allows me time to budget. Okay? If I already have a budget, it allows me time to reflect if that budget is optimal or there are a few things I need to move here and there. And also, it allows me time to really reflect on if the things I put in the budget are truly my needs or they are just wants. That way, I won't end up jumping to spend my entire salary or the entire money I've earned on things which I haven't budgeted for, or even things I'm not sure. By pausing and reflecting, it really assists me go ahead and spend the money on things I'm sure I want to spend the money on, because I thought about them end to end. That is the power of pausing and reflecting. And in finance or investing, or even in spending your money, there is something which is called 24-hour rule. In case you want to make a major purchase, don't just jump to purchase it. Chill out, pause for 24 hours, okay? By you pausing, it's going to really assist you think if that thing is still a priority, or you might want to change your mind. And that is very important, okay? And then the second routine or thing I typically do is that I do pay myself first. Hear me out. Out there, one of the biggest mistakes people do when they are budgeting, they don't have money to pay themselves. And by paying yourself, I don't mean you waking up and saying, I did earn a quarter million, so I'm paying myself over 200k Kenya shillings. That is unreasonable. And I'm saying so because a good chunk of your money is going to go towards your subsistence. Whether it is your rent, whether it is you paying existing debts which you have, whether it is you thinking about investment, you name it. By paying yourself, I basically mean putting aside money for your own self-development, or even little entertainment which you deserve, but keep the money on the low end. Keep the money manageable. Don't go out there saying, I deserve to be paid, so you take the entire amount of money and utilize it frivolously, okay? And then, after I've paid myself a small percentage, whether it is 2%, 3% of my money, which I'm going to pump towards my self-development, I do clear my bills immediately. Guys, there are those bills which are inevitable. Case in point, rent. Case in point, maybe having existing, maybe debt which you have monthly payment, okay? Case in point, you have maybe school fee obligation, you name it. Those are bills which are not even dependent on your emotions, on what you think. Those are bills which you have to cater for you to ensure the basics are in order. So I typically do pay my bills immediately as part of routine. And of course, these I usually have factored them in my budget, so they're not cropping up from nowhere. They are in my budget, and I clear those bills immediately before I do anything else. After clearing my bills, I do typically invest in rebuilding my emergency fund. Hear me out, guys. When that paycheck hits your account, most people typically feel like they have a lot of money. They can afford anything in this world. And in a day or two, the entire money has vanished. That's why I also prioritize rebuilding my emergency fund. And I do that because emergencies are inevitable out here. Case in point, If things are bad, you might even lose your job. Do you have your subsistence worth of money which can assist you survive for 3 to 6 months? Do you? Or in case you lose your job today, you're gonna start struggling as soon as you lose your job. Reason being, you are spending your entire salary without planning for any possible emergencies. Even beyond the emergency of probably losing your job, you can't even, for example, have a small accident. Maybe your car tire bursts, okay? Maybe there's someone you know, or even yourself, you become sick and you need to clear a given medical bill. Do you have money set aside to support you on that? That is why I do prioritize building an emergency fund, because I know it is important. And that's the fourth thing I typically do. And people out there think once you have an emergency fund, that's sufficient. Not really. Think about rebuilding it. Case in point, you can continue plowing some money to your emergency fund. That, at the end of the day, is an investment. It is an investment to your mental state well being. It is an investment towards your health. It is an investment towards your peace. And there is nothing as powerful in this world as you going out there to conquer, knowing very well you have peace of mind. That's why I prioritize rebuilding my emergency fund, because I know it's going to go a long way to assist me thrive. Okay. And then the fifth thing I do is, yes, there are those moments where, for example, we say we deserve maybe weekly treats here and there. I also plan for those weekly treats, okay? Whether it is money I plan to maybe go and eat out maybe once a week, whether it is money I plan to have transport at hand to go to any event I want to go to once a week, I also plan for those weekly treats. And if you are out there, for example, you have even a big family, whether you are catering for extended family, and they are depending on you in one way or another, also factor in this line. Those weekly treats, plan them in there so that you don't find yourself in a situation where you are earning 70K and there is a week where you've ended up spending 20K on your weekly treats. That is going to really dent your budget. So plan for that so as not to be caught up by surprise, okay? And then the sixth thing I typically do is think about an action increasing my incomes, okay? Guys, we all have the power to increase our incomes, okay? We all have the power to think. We all have the power to solve a problem. Out here, people make money because they are solving a given problem, right? So don't just rely on a salary. Think about an action you increasing your income. And by this, I basically mean two ways. When you get your salary on payday, why don't you show some of the money, for example, for you to advance your skills? Because at the end of the day, you most likely gonna get paid proportionate to your skills and your problem solving abilities. We are living in a digital era. Do you understand the digital era we are living in? The digital technology, do you understand AI? Are you conversant on when it comes to selling? Do you have the right negotiation skills? If you don't have, invest in those skills, because those skills over time, be sure they're gonna pay you big time. And then the second way, which I focus on increasing my income, is prioritizing investing. When my money comes in, I don't just spend the whole of it. I don't just prioritize saving only as part of either standalone saving or even emergency fund. I do also prioritize investing. That's why in my monthly payment, I do prioritize a given percentage of money towards investment. And it is whichever kind of investment out there. I'm not saying you choose a given specific investment because I like it. I could be liking a given investment based on your situation, based on investment horizon. Your desire for investing could vary. You might decide to go with a different investment assets out there. You might decide, for example, to go with the stock market, to put your money on treasury bills, you name it. The key is to be intentional and to start. Do you typically shove aside a given percentage of your monthly salary to go to investments? If you don't, you probably need to start today. Don't say, I'm going to start after 1 year. Start today. And I'm saying start today, reason being, out there, investments can be done with as little as even 1K Kenya shillings. Case in point, MMFs allow you to even put down money with even 1K. There are some shares out there which even allow you to purchase shares. Even a share price could even be 9 shilling. Okay? You decide and start today. Don't postpone saying, I'm going to invest once I have 2 millions. That time will never come. And the more you postpone, the more you lose out on time. Because one of the most powerful things in investing is getting in early and then capitalizing on your time horizon to enjoy the benefit of compounding. That is why I always prioritize investing. I give a small amount of money each and every month. That concept is basically called dollar cost averaging, whereby you can say, for example, each and every month, I'm shoving aside 2K, I'm shoving aside 10K, shoving aside 30K to push towards investment. Over time, you do that each and every month and plow back your returns to your investment. Be sure you'll have tens of millions after several years. That is the power of pushing aside a percentage of your pay to investment instead of just you consuming the entire amount of money and continuing to live paycheck to paycheck, wondering why the rain started beating you. The rain started beating you because you don't plan, you are not intentional, and you are not prioritizing investing. Guys, what do you think about this video? Have you gotten nuggets which you can utilize for you to be able to break that cycle of living paycheck to paycheck? If you have, share with me down below which of these ideas are you going to action immediately so as to break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. Cheers, guys. I look forward to share with you other amazing videos next time. Take care.